What is up, Guardians? Jedi Monkey here. Today I will be going over the two builds I plan to bring into the day one of Vow of Deception, the new raid in Destiny 2. I will be streaming my day one raid with my team right here on this channel, so feel free to come and check me out. But without further ado, here are the two builds that I plan to bring into the day one raid. And at the end of the video, we will be going all over the weapons that I will be bringing into the raid as well. One more thing that I forgot to mention, I definitely recommend checking out the TWAB for this week. I will be linking it into the description down below. It does go over a few things that are going to be turned off for the raid, a couple exotics, mods, and other stuff. So if you were planning on bringing those in, I definitely recommend checking out that so you know what's disabled and you don't accidentally bring it in and wonder why the hell you can't use it. Thank you for watching, and if you like the video, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. So the first build we're going to talk about is my Axiom Bolt build. So we were running Void 3.0 with Cataclysm, Nova Bomb, and of course Axiom Bolt, because it's an Axiom Bolt build. We are pairing that with Chaos Escalar, so you can hold your grenade button to overcharge your grenade, which gives you for the Axiom Bolt, gives you an additional Seeker. We are pairing that with Feed the Void, so you can get Devour. This is something I've wanted to be able to do since moving to D2. In D1, you could actually do something fairly similar to this with the old build system. This brings it back, and it makes me so happy. For the fragments, we are using Echo of Explosion. Void abilities cause targets to explode. Awesome. More damage. Woot. We are doing Echo Remnants, so everything my grenades last longer, and Seek Father, which is awesome. And then Echo Exchange, don't really need it, but it is something that does help out when you maybe throw a grenade and don't actually get any kills. You can get that grenade back a little bit farther by getting a melee kill. For exotics, we are running Controverse Holds. So if you're not familiar with Controverse Holds, reduces incoming damage when you're holding a charged void grenade, and then you get a little bit extra return energy on after throwing your grenade on a grenade hit. So if you're getting 1 or 2 hits, you can get up to 3 hits with a Seeker grenade. You can almost get a grenade back almost instantly, with pairing that with also Grenade Kickstarter, which gives you more grenade energy when you fully expend your grenade. The other mods that we are running, so we are running Elemental Ordnance on my helmet. We already went over what's on the glove. Actually, we didn't go over fully. The other mod we're running on the gloves is Voltaic Flow. Picking a Void Elemental Well grants your weapons volatile rounds. Awesome. More damage. Woot. And then on my chest piece, Bountiful Wells, and then just some resist mods. I highly recommend taking advantage of Thermoclasto Plating, which gives you both arc and solar resist. I think this is going to be extremely useful in the raid, especially when we're going up against champion, or if we have some of the Hive Guardians, because we don't quite know what we're going to be in the raid. We haven't seen anything about what's in the raid, which I am super excited about. And then we are running another Elemental Ordnance on my boots. That could easily be swapped out for Font of Might if I needed to do a little bit more damage with my weapon. So when I pick up the Void Wells, I'm doing more damage with my Void weapons. Right now I have Glaive Scavenger on it. That will not be on there because they've disabled suppressor grenade, so don't pay any attention to that. I am not running a glaive. And then last but not least, on my bond, we have overload grenades, just in case we have any overload champions. I have a nice void grenade that can stun those void champions. And then we also have energy vampirism. So I gain more energy on my least charged ability whenever I kill a suppressed target. Just helps out a little bit, getting those abilities back a little bit quick. Well, last but not least, Well of Tenacity, giving you that bigger damage reduction now that they have nerfed Protective Light. It doesn't last as long as Protective Light, but it does protect better. And with the amount of wells that I make with this build, this is a much better mod than Protective Light. So that's basically the build. We are pairing that with the new Vice submachine gun. I'm running a Subsistence Thresh one, just to help get that big Nova Bomb a little bit quicker, because I have a very low intelligence. I'm only running, I believe, 4 on my intelligence, so we have almost an 8-minute cooldown on that Nova Bomb. So that's really helpful. And then for weapons, I'm going to go over all the weapons I plan to bring into this a little bit later, so that we can see what I might bring in for different encounters. So as you can see in this class, with the Void build, you're constantly healing, throwing grenades, and using the Vice submachine gun to recharge your super and just cause the volatile flow to proc and deal a little bit extra damage with it, taking out adds fairly quickly and easily. So the other build that we'll be using in the raid on Saturday, we will be using a Dawnblade Well of Radiance build. So we will be taking advantage of the really short cooldown time on Firebolt grenades to use them for healing grenades. So we will be overcharging them so they heal our teammates, and we can drop them down, give our teammates a short little overshield plus heal them up. We also have Well of Radiance, which gives us a nice big protective super that we can stand in to deal damage and other stuff like that. You got Divine Protection, which is grenades. You also have, which is a really underrated ability, Benevolent Dawn, healing or empowering rift. Allies regenerate your grenade, melee, and rift energy. With this build, you pretty much always have a rift up, because someone or yourself is always standing in the grenade. So the exotic we are pairing with that is going to be Boots of the Assembler. So Boots of the Assembler. Standing in a healing rift creates noble seeking grounds that seek out your allies that are not in the rift to heal them. So you send out little seekers to heal your teammates. You can kind of stand in the middle of the map and do that. Empowering Rift does more damage. Most likely we'll be running it with Healing Rift unless we find that I have someplace I can stand and be protected, and then send out the damaged ones when we need them. It also gives you more duration on your reef, extending it for whenever one of your teammates gets healed, which is really helpful. We're also going to be pairing that with the Lumina, because they actually pair well together. You get noble rounds by just standing in your rift. So you don't actually have to kill anything with the Lumina to get the noble rounds, which you can then shoot out the noble rounds to your friends to give them the damage buff that you would get from the empowering rift. So you can run the healing rift with the Lumina to give you even more damage. We also are going to be pairing this with some well mods. So we also are going to be taking advantage of Voltaic Overflow, and be pairing that with and how we are going to get Void Elemental Wells is we're going to be using this guy right here, Repeating Wellmaker. After activating your class ability, because you're dropping wells all the time, you're constantly using your class ability. Sorry, rifts, not wells. Every final blow after that gives you Void Elemental Wells. And then we are running Bountiful Wells on the hands to give you just that much more of the wells dropping every time. Voltaic Flow, as I talked about. And then on the boots, we are running Melee Well Maker, just because when something does come into your rift, you can then punch it, drop a couple solar wells to give you a little bit more. And then on the bond, we are running Well of Tenacity. I will probably put on depending on what I'm doing, either Perpetuation, where it reduces your class ability. I don't really need either one of these, but give you something there to get some extra class ability or other ability energy in there just to thing out. But Well, Tenacity, as I said before, reduces cooldown when you pick up that Void Elemental Well, so you got some abilities there that you can then be a little bit tougher and more resilient. And with the solar healing build, your main goal is to drop your well, or drop your rift, pop in a few shots with your Lumina to get a few noble rounds procced, send those out to your teammates, and then you can swap to your secondary weapons to kill some more adds, swap back to your Lumina to send out some more noble rounds to your teammates to allow them to deal a little bit more damage. Rinse, repeat, because you're never going to run out of your rift. And then you have your super for when it is big damage time. Alright, let's talk about weapons for a second. So, I've already picked out most of the weapons I plan to bring in here. For my primary slot, we have Ignition Code with Blinding Grenade and Vorpal Weapon and Slide Shot. It also has Spike Grenade on it. It's just an all-around good grenade launcher. Blinding Grenade, so if we have a lot of more tanky adds that you're not taking out super quick, you can blind them so they're not constantly nailing you. Vorpal Grenade, Vorpal does more damage to the higher value targets. Slide Shot, slide to reload it. Save you a little bit of loading time, great there. We're running, we'll have Lumina with me for when I'm running my healing build to be able to shoot out those noble rounds. We are running Obelisk, or we'll have an Obelisk with us. So we can break, if we run into an encounter with a lot of shields, you have a weapon that can break all damage types of shields and take those down really quickly. It also has intrinsic anti-barrier and is a great weapon from distance. We have a submachine gun in my kinetic slot. Extraordinary Rendition, I have an Outlaw Frenzy roll that I really like, so that's the one I'm bringing with me. And then I have my Hung Jury Scout Rifle with explosive payload, just a good distance weapon. So if you have to take out crystals from a distance or something like that, which we've seen a lot during the campaign, good weapon to have there. If you don't have a good Hung Jury, you can go get the Night Watch curated roll from the quest, the New Light quest at the kiosk. I highly recommend doing it if you don't have a good scout rifle. That definitely will be good here. And then in my energy slot, we have my submachine gun, Vice submachine gun, that I'll be running on my Void class to take advantage of the extra Void damage from the extra abilities. Dead Messenger, I'm going to keep on my character. It's a grenade launcher, but you can also switch the damage type, which could be very helpful. If you're running into a lot of solar shields in one encounter, and then the next wave is all void shields or whatever, you have a weapon that can kind of deal with multiple shielded enemies all at once. My likely suspect, probably won't be using in this raid, but I might. It is a rapid fire fusion rifle. Gives you some great options. You can build your own roll. I'm in the process of building mine. I haven't quite decided what I would like on it, but it's firmly planted, is definitely going to be on there. Divinity, if we have a damage boss, if we have a damage phase where we need to deal a little bit extra damage to a boss and he has a small crit spot, we have the Divinity there for us. And then a Frozen Orbit Vorpal Sniper Rifle with triple tap. Any kind of sniper rifle is good to have during a raid encounter in case you need to deal damage from a distance. Having a good triple tap or sniper rifle is always going to be good for any encounter. And then last but not least, the weapon I'm definitely going to be bringing in here, and I know it's kind of a weird one, is a wave frame grenade launcher. It's also void, so I'm going to be able to take advantage of that extra void damage. I will probably be running this as my secondary on my healing build with Lumina, so I can shoot out this and deal that extra explosion damage. This one right here has Ambitious Assassin, so every kill I get to reload 2 back into the mag, and then Unrelenting, rapidly defeating targets triggers health regen. So if you defeat 3 targets, it will start regenning your health, which is really helpful if you happen to get in a bad situation where you're getting surrounded by ads. Nothing really other special that. In the heavy slot, definitely going to be bringing Gallahorn with me. It is probably a top tier option, but you only really need one person on your team running it. The rest of them probably should be running a legendary rocket launcher, because if you have the catalyst unlocked, everybody gets the wolf pack rounds and stuff like that. And then for other heavies that we're going to be using, Deathbringer with Voltaic. Sorry, not Voltaic. With Voltaic Flow. Deathbringer actually does a massive amount of damage, especially if you have the catalyst. So there's good. My legendary rocket launcher, in case I'm not the running Gallahorn, I brought a red herring. I was lucky enough to go ahead and get it up to 17 so I could start getting some of the higher perks. So I went with Lasting Impression. I am going to be swapping out the first perk for Field Prep for the extra reserves, but it is a void one, so I'll be able to take care of Voltaic Flow and take advantage of the Wolfpack rounds if my teammate is running that. The last one I highly recommend people going to go get is, by doing the quest, is Parasite. This will we have a boss, something like Atrax, where you have a very short window to deal a lot of damage, this can put out some massive damage when you get Worm's Hunger up times 20. It's as high as it goes. It's a really good burst damage weapon. Sustained damage phases, you're definitely going to go with something else, but for a short damage phase, this is definitely a top tier option. Guys, that made it this far in the video. Thank you for watching. And again, hopefully you will like and subscribe to the video. It really helps out the channel. I will be coming out with some more build videos over the next couple weeks. I haven't been able yet to because of the craziness of getting ready for day 1 raid and trying to get all the mods unlocked in the season pass. Thank you for watching, and again, this is Jedi Monkey. Have a nice night.